Before diving into specific examples, it helps to understand what factors determine the value of a penny or cent coin beyond its face value. Mintage, how many were made. Lower numbers equals more scarce. Condition/grade, coins in better condition, less wear, high mint state grades, fetch much higher prices. Varieties and mint errors, examples include double dies, missing mint marks, unusual strikes, weird planchets, weird die breaks, SMS/special mint sets, etc. Metal content, older cents, copper-rich, may have metal, value, especially if copper is expensive. Sometimes a coin has story, rarity, or collector demand that makes it especially desirable. This is one of the more commonly encountered 1-cent coins, but there are certain varieties/grades that make 1966 pennies quite valuable. Here are the key points. In 1966, the U.S. Mint produced about 2,188,147,783 Lincoln cents in Philadelphia, no mint mark. Composition was mostly zinc with a small amount of copper. After 1982 it changed more heavily to zinc, but for 1966 it's still copper-rich. These coins were struck more carefully, often with better surfaces, intended for collectors. A top-graded SMS 1966 penny, SP67 Red Cameo, sold for around $2,585 in 2014. Red, RD, means the coin retains its original red copper luster. Brown, BN, means it has heavily toned or lost a lot of its red. Red-brown, is in between. Coins with full red and high grade are rare and more sought after. For example, a 1966 MS65 RD penny was worth about $18. One in much higher condition, MS67 RD, has sold for $6,463 in 2012. The single biggest unusual sale was for a 1966 Brown, BN, Lincoln Memorial penny that sold on eBay in 2022 for $25,000. But note, that specimen had unusual qualities, including possibly being misgraded or especially rare. Some 1966 pennies have errors, die cracks, BIE, cracks in the word liberty, double dies, etc. Value can increase if the error is clear and the coin is in good condition. So, in summary, most 1966 US pennies are worth just above their face, perhaps a few cents, unless in very high condition or having special features. Those rare top-grade or error coins can fetch hundreds to thousands, in exceptional cases tens of thousands of dollars. To put the 1966 penny's value in perspective, here are some of the very highest value 1-cent coins of all time. These are much rarer, historically more significant, or more dramatic errors. The 1943 copper penny, U.S. In 1943 the U.S. was minting pennies on steel, zinc-coated, due to copper wartime needs. But a small number, 19, were mistakenly struck in copper. One of these sold for $112,500 on December 23, 1999. The 1909 SVDB Lincoln cent, a famous early U.S. coin, highly collected, rare minting, big premium in high grades. These coins dwarf even the very best 1966 pennies in rarity and value. Another coin often asked about is the 1966 Australian 1-cent, decimal currency. Some special varieties of Australian cents, especially from early decimal years, are collector favorites. Here are points for the 1966 Australian cent. This coin was introduced February 14, 1966 when Australia decimalized its currency. Composition, mostly copper, 97% copper with small amounts of zinc/tin. As a whole, lots were minted, and many remain, so standard circulated examples are not extremely valuable. The 1966 Perth 1-cent, Perth Mint issue, Australia, has a variant known as the blunted second whisker. This specific variety is much harder to find in good, mint state condition. Most 1966 Perth ones are dark, toned, spotted, not bright, not brilliant. High grade, bright examples are rare. Because of this, those rare, high-grade Perth 1966 cents can carry premiums among Australian decimal coin collectors. But even then, they usually don't reach astronomical prices like the US rarities, more modest sums, though for Australian standards, they can still be significant. Here are some recorded sale values for 1966 1-cent/penny coins, or extremely similar, coin/variety grade/condition sale price/auction value 1966 US. Lincoln Memorial Penny, MS65 red brown very good uncirculated around $18 US for that grade. 1966 US Lincoln Memorial Penny, MS67 red extremely high grade $6 for 63 in 2012. 1966 US Lincoln Memorial Penny, brown, rare specimen perfect or near perfect $25,000 sale on eBay in 2022. 1966 US SMS SP67 red cameo special mint set, near top condition $2,585 in 2014. Why the 1966 pennies aren't generally top-tier rarities. While some 1966 cents are quite valuable, there are reasons why they don't generally reach the huge values of, say, a 1914 D or a 1943 copper, etc. High overall mintage. There were billions of 1966 US pennies made, so the supply is large. Only the very best condition examples are rare. No mint mark. From 1965-1967 the US eliminated mint marks from coins, in part to discourage hoarding. So 1966 pennies don't have mint mark variants to chase, unlike some other years. Wear and condition losses. Because many circulated heavily, finding examples with sharp detail, no wear, full red color, etc. is harder. What to look for if you find a 1966 penny. If you have a 1966 penny, any region, here's what to check to see if it might be worth more than face value. Is it from a special set, SMS, proof, etc., or a business strike? What is its color/toning? Red/full red, for US, is more desirable. Is there any die variety or mint error, double die, missing mint mark, if possible, die cracks, misalignment, unusual planchet, etc.? What's the grade or condition? Are the details sharp, hair, lettering, rims? Any damage, cleaning, corrosion? Does it come from a known rare mint or location, e.g. Perth for Australia? The 1966 1-cent/penny coins are not usually the most expensive in the world, but certain specimens can command high prices, particularly those in top mint condition, with special traits or errors. For instance, a US 1966 penny in MS67 red condition sold for over $6,400 and an extremely rare brown example fetched $25,000. By contrast, legendary rarities like the 1943 copper penny or early VDB pennies remain in another league in terms of pricing. If you tell me which country's 1966 penny you have, USA, Australia, Canada, etc., or even better send details/photos of it, I can help you estimate its value more precisely. Do you want me to walk through one specific coin you're curious about? Started. In 1966, the US Mint made over 821 million quarters. That is a very large number. Because of this, most 1966 quarters are common and only worth face value. But not all coins are the same. Some were made better than others. A few have special features or mistakes that make them rare and valuable. Normally, coins show a letter called a mint mark. This tells us where the coin was made. For example, D means Denver, and S means San Francisco. But from 1965 to 1967, the US Mint did not put mint marks on coins. This was done to stop people from saving coins just because of the mint. So if your 1966 quarter has no mint mark, that is normal. It does not mean it is rare, but some no mint mark coins still have special value for other reasons. Let's talk about what the 1966 quarter looks like. On the front side, called the obverse, it shows George Washington's head. You will also see the word liberty, the phrase, "In God We Trust," and the year, 1966. On the back side, called the reverse, you'll see an eagle with wings open. The eagle is sitting on arrows and surrounded by olive branches. Around the eagle are the words, United States of America, e pluribus unum, and $quarter. The coin weighs about 5.67 grams. It is made of copper in the middle and nickel on the outside. Even though it has no silver, collectors still care about the coin if it is in great condition or has an error. Collectors use a grading system to decide how nice a coin is. The system goes from 1 to 70. A coin that is dirty, scratched, and used a lot may be a grade of 10 or 20. A coin that looks new and shiny, with no marks, may get a grade of 65, 66, or even 68. The higher the number, the better. The better the coin looks, the more money it is worth. Most 1966 quarters that people find in change are not in great shape. They have been used for years. These coins are usually only worth 25 cents. But if someone has a 1966 quarter that looks brand new, it may be worth more. A 1966 quarter graded MS 67, mint state 67, could be worth hundreds of dollars. One coin with a grade of MS 68 sold for almost $4,000 at an auction. There is another kind of 1966 quarter that can be special. It comes from something called a special mint set, or SMS. In 1966, the U.S. Mint did not make proof coins, which are coins made just for collectors. Instead, they made SMS coins. These coins are nicer than regular ones but not as perfect as proofs. Some SMS quarters have a strong, shiny look. If they have a deep contrast between the shiny background and frosty raised parts, they are even more valuable. These are called deep cameo coins. A 1966 SMS quarter in deep cameo condition and a high grade can be worth more than $1,000. Another reason a 1966 quarter can be valuable is if it has a mistake. These mistakes are called mint errors. Sometimes, a coin is made wrong because of a problem at the mint. Some of these error coins are very rare. One kind of error is called a double die. This happens when the image on the coin is printed twice by mistake. It can make letters or numbers look like they have shadows or doubling. A strong double die can make the coin worth hundreds or more. Another error is an off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not centered right during the minting process. Part of the image is missing, and the coin looks uneven. If the date is still showing, the coin can be worth more. The more off-center the coin is, the more it may be worth. Some 1966 quarters were made on the wrong metal blank. This is called a wrong planchet error. For example, a quarter may be made on a dime blank or a foreign coin blank. These coins can be lighter than normal or have a strange color. If you find a 1966 quarter that looks different and weighs less than 5.67 grams, it could be a wrong planchet error. These are very rare and can be worth thousands of dollars. Another error is a clipped planchet. This happens when part of the coin blank is missing before the coin is stamped. It can look like a small piece is cut off the edge. These coins can also be worth more, depending on how large the clip is and how clear the rest of the coin looks. If you think your 1966 quarter is special, the best way to find out its value is to get it graded by a professional service. The two biggest grading companies are PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company. They will check your coin, give it a grade, and put it in a clear case with a label. This helps prove the coin is real and tells buyers how much it may be worth. You can also look at online auction sites to see what similar coins are selling for. Be careful, though. Many coins look shiny but are still only worth face value. Only coins with very high grades, special mint features, or clear errors are worth big money. Here are some examples of valuable 1966 quarters. One MS 68 regular quarter sold for $3,800. A 1966 SMS quarter with a deep cameo finish sold for over $4,900. An off-center error sold for $350. Some wrong planchet errors have sold for over $5,000. But remember, these coins are very rare. Most 1966 quarters are not worth more than 25 cents. Even if they are old, that doesn't mean they are valuable. Age alone does not make a coin special. What matters most is the condition and if it has any rare errors or features. If you want to check your coin, start by looking at its surface. Is it shiny or dull? Does it have scratches or wear? Use a small magnifying glass to check the date and letters. Look for any signs of doubling or mistakes. If something looks strange, it might be worth getting it checked by a coin expert. Many people enjoy coin collecting as a hobby. It can be fun to look at your coins and see if you have any rare ones. The 1966 quarter is a good coin to check because there are a few that are very valuable. But even if your coin is not worth much, it's still part of history. Coins tell stories about the past. The 1966 quarter tells the story of a time when silver was removed from coins, and when the mint tried to stop people from saving coins. It was made during a time of change in how money was made in the United States. So next time you see a 1966 quarter, take a closer look. It might be just a regular coin, or it might be something very special. Either way, it's always worth checking. You never know, that small coin in your hand could be worth more than you think.